Hello and welcome to In Stitches. I've got this 1948 Singer 201K in for service, and it's got a little problem where when you turn the hand wheel there's a tight spot. So there's quite a tight spot there, and then if you force it, I'm not forcing it too hard but just enough to get it past the tight spot there, it rotates completely freely until it comes around another rotation and it's tight there again. And if we get some momentum up, you can hear it. So we've got an issue there, and it's a matter of tracking down where the issue lies. And sometimes that can be a little bit difficult, but what you really need to do is sort of eliminate areas of binding. So in this case, if I get it to the tight spot where it's actually binding up, I can move the needle bar there. It's definitely not that that's causing the issue. So the needle bar is free, and I'm doing this, as I say, at the point of binding there. That eliminates the needle bar. I sort of suspect it might be in the hook area because it's every revolution of the hook. So what we can do next is we can check to see if the binding is every revolution of the hand wheel or not. And I can feel it's binding there, right? So the screw here is at about, say, 7 o'clock. Okay, and if I turn the machine, it binds again here. So this shaft is not getting a full revolution before it binds again. Now, if the problem was something to do with a mechanism that's connected to the top shaft here, you would expect it to only bind every revolution, so when this comes right around, but it's not, it's binding when it gets to here. So it's half a turn. So if we have a close look at the relationship between the needle bar and the hook here, if I bring the needle bar to its top position there and I turn the hand wheel one full revolution, so it's tight there, coming down, up, that there is one full revolution of the hand wheel. But if you look at the hook here, hook point just there, watch the needle bar, we'll do one full revolution. Okay, so the hook point, the needle bar is coming down, the hook points come around. So the hook has come around once already and the needle bar is at its lowest position, so the top shaft has gone through half a revolution. And then if we look at the hook point again, needle bar is coming up, hook point comes around, and then needle bar is at its top position and the hook point's back in its original position there. And what that tells you is that the hook is doing 2 revolutions for every 1 revolution of the hand wheel or the top shaft. And as far as the binding is concerned, that's a dead giveaway that the problem is in the hook, because you're getting 2 binding points in 1 revolution of the top shaft. So I'm getting binding there, and then I'm getting binding there when it's coming back up, which points to this hook here because it's doing 2-to-1 rotation. That's a really handy little trick to help track down where the binding might be. So let's get in close here, have a look here. So you'll see here that the hook rotates around this part here. This, on a domestic machine, we could probably call a bobbin case as such, because the bobbin gets inserted into here. Now, what can be a problem is that the bobbin case may be jamming. So if I bring the machine to where it's jamming, that point there, I can still move the bobbin case. So it's not the bobbin case jamming. If the bobbin case was causing this issue, when you bring the machine to the point where it's jamming, that bobbin case would be stiff. You wouldn't be able to move it back and forward like that. There's a little finger in here, a little locating finger that it's got a little bit of clearance, and that's why we can move that like that. I'll show you. I'll take the plate off there. Okay, a little bit hard to see because the feed dog's there, so let's whip the feed dog out. Again, just 2 screws there, like that, and now we can see the little finger here, the little locating finger for the bobbin case, and you can see the hook rotating around it. The problem is actually staring us in the face, although it's a little bit difficult to see. But some of you may be able to see what's going on. Jamming there. Hook's just poking out here. Coming around. Jamming again. Hook is just poking out here. Okay. What we can do is we can see whether it is binding maybe on this part here. We take this part here out. There. And now it's free. Okay. And let's feel this bobbin case here. That's free as well. So that would indicate that something here is colliding with the underside of this little retainer here. Let's have a close look at the hook here. We've got the hook and we've got the what I'm calling the bobbin case there. And the bobbin case is actually spinning, you know, in a little what's called a race down in here. And the bobbin case is held in by this ring, this retaining ring here. And if you're familiar with these, you might have noticed that one of the retaining clips is not fully engaged. And the retaining clips here, if you're not familiar, are these little clips here, just there. The spring-loaded clips. One there. And you see how the clip comes over and is clamping the ring there. But if we have a look at this one, coming here, you'll see that the clip is not quite engaged. You can see that the ring is sitting up and the clip is not sitting over the ring there. And that is the cause of the problem, because what's happening is this here, this ring is sitting up and it's hitting the underside of this retainer here. And that's exactly what's happening. That's binding every revolution on the underside of this retainer. So the question is, why has this popped out? Is it because it's slightly fouled up there with gunk and whatnot? I'm not sure, but let's just take the retaining clip right off, and that way we can remove the bobbin case and maybe even have a good clean down in here. This clip here is designed to be rotated into position. I'll show you that when I put it back together. But to unclip it, I think it's probably just easy enough to pull the clip back there. Oop, just like that. So there, you can see the 2 retaining clips there now, quite nicely. One there and one around here. Just there. Right, and yeah, there is a bit of gunk around here. It needs a good clean. We can remove this bobbin case here now. This section here, that is the ring here. That's the race ring I was talking about. It sits inside a little race down here. And you'll notice, and it's come out, you'll notice there's a little cutout there in the ring. It doesn't go all the way around. If I show you that, I'll spin this around. You'll see the ring goes most of the way around until you get to this area here where there's a little cutout, and that can just be lifted out. But you can see there that that's the race ring there, the little cutout here. And that's your bobbin case. Now, you know, that really needs a good clean. I won't be going through and videoing a full service today, but just to let you know, what I'd be doing is I'd be removing these screws here, just to remove the bobbin case or the bobbin tension spring, and then cleaning that and putting it back together, resetting the bobbin tension. As far as bobbin tension is concerned, that's your adjusting screw there, and that is your mounting screw for the bobbin spring. And if we have a look at the hook here, we can see there's a little bit of gunk in there. I'd be getting the air compressor onto that and cleaning all that out nicely if I was doing a full service. But just today, to show you what I'm doing, I will just give it a quick clean with a brush. You can do this yourself at home. Just get in there, give that a really good clean out. Any stubborn sort of lint and whatnot, you might want to just carefully pick away at with a screwdriver. Very carefully. You don't want to be using any major force because you might damage something there. But some of that's quite stubborn. It's probably mixed with a little bit of oil, and we'll just pick away at that there. Excuse the noise, background noise, just a washing machine. Okay. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I'll get it a lot better than what it was. Yeah, the area I really want to make sure is clean is this area here where the retaining ring sits in there. We'll make sure the retaining ring's clean as well. There's no debris underneath there. See, might be a little bit of something just there. I would give that a really good scrub, check over. A little bit of something there. Just get into that little groove there. You can see gunk coming out of there. Now these parts are made out of extremely hard metal, so it is quite difficult to damage them, but you do need to be careful even so. Just like that. Just on those mating surfaces there. Make sure that's clean. A good stiff brush would probably do quite well there as well. There's something like an old toothbrush, it's quite handy. It's reasonably clean. Bobbin case, I'd do the same thing. If you give that a quick clean up there, it's not looking too bad. A little bit of stubborn gunk down here. Just gently clean that away there. Now you'll be noticing in the race here there's slots here. These slots, if you're wondering what that's all about, those slots are designed to cut thread. And the reason they're designed to cut thread is if you get a jam or the thread tangles around the bobbin case or the race here, these little slots here are extremely sharp. They've got sharp edges and they are designed to cut the thread, and so it helps with stopping the machine from jamming, and just sort of cuts through the thread and clears it away. It saves the hook and the base or the bobbin case binding up. We'll just install the bobbin case here. As I say, I'd normally clean that further than that, but just for the sake of a demonstration here, we can put the bobbin case back in. You can put it in any position as long as it's turning nice and smoothly in the race there. That's fine. You can go ahead and put a little bit of oil in here if you want to at this point. It doesn't really matter. You can do it later. A little bit of oil. And then we can spin the retaining ring on. You'll see that this is where the little clips clip in there. One there, and one comes up to this point here, that point there. But you'll also notice a little cutout here, and that's where you initially position the ring with the retaining clip sitting here, and then you turn this clockwise and it flips up over this little beveled edge here and fits into position there. So that just makes it easy to install. And there's the clip there for this side and the clip on the other side there. And if I just position that in the little provided cutout there, that's our starting position there. Clip is just here, and the other clip is there, not quite on the ring. You can see there, just at the start of the ring. And the easy way to do this is to hold your thumbnail or something there. Make sure the ring's held down like that, and turn the machine backwards. Whoops, and that's not worked quite. The little clip has actually gone under the race there, so I'll just reverse that. Let's have another go at that. Just need to make sure that that clip heads up over this little piece here. So you can actually probably do it with your fingers. You can see the clip. I'm not using my fingernails this time, I'm just using my finger, and not necessarily having to turn the machine backwards either. I'm just pushing the ring in the reverse direction. But you can see there, hopefully, the clip is heading over this little this little piece that sticks out here, and so it's going to clip in properly this time, I think. Yep. There we go, and there we have one clip installed, just there. And the other clip, the one that was sitting out and causing the ring to sit up proud, is now successfully clipped over the top of the ring here. And if we just put the retainer back in, making sure that the finger of the bobbin case here goes into the appropriate slot there, like so. Just put the retaining screws back in there, and I think we'll find that is problem solved. Tighten those two up. Free as free. So, success there. I'll give this an oil while I'm here, just down that centre hole there, and just get a little bit more on that hook race there, and that I think will be fixed, and I think this machine will run just fine now. Just while we're here, make sure that there's no lint build up in your feed dogs. Just give that a little clean out there. Just like that. Put the feed dogs back in. So the other problem with this machine is the motor belt was in a pretty sorry state. It's not an original belt. It's one of those sort of rubbery, stretchy type belts. This here, you can see it's just really perishing there. So I'll find another belt for it. Tighten those two up. Okay, motor belt's all fitted and ready to go there. And we're all threaded up there, so let's see how she goes there. Yep, it's sewing. It's not overly quiet. I haven't done the service on it yet. It's a little bit noisy. But yeah, definitely sewing nicely there. There's the stitches there, looking pretty good. So there we go. All fixed up, ready to go. That's about it for this one. As always, thank you very much to my patrons, and thank you very much for watching.